Hello, happy end of the first full week of school. Ms. Zalba and I are here to share with you some highlights of this week in the elementary school. And every Friday with our new and improved parent contact, we will be sharing windows into the experiences of your children at school. To frame what we share with you, we're going to highlight things that are happening for your children's well-being, that support their learning and their sense of belonging. And so you'll hear that throughout what we share with you today and in the weeks ahead.
Hello, everybody. It's wonderful to be here. And we are so happy to have Dr. Vega back at school. As you can see, she's in her office and she's super excited, but I think we're more excited than she is that she's back. So welcome back to the building. You've been here, but welcome back to the building. So we wanted to share some pictures of our children playing during recess times. These are grades 4 and 5 recess times. We have shared with you before that we are so lucky to have the facilities that we do, and we are using it to its fullest potential. Children in grade 3, 4, and 5 get an opportunity to play in the wonderful green grass, and they usually play soccer or they do some gymnastics. They also get the opportunity to play every day, twice a day in the adventure playground. Can you go to the next one? They get to climb. They also get to play in the tennis courts. They play different things in the tennis courts. You can see children now playing soccer, they play basketball, they play four squares, they invent some games as well. They collect things around that area, and they build different art pieces with different natural resources as well. So it's wonderful to see them. It's great for them. As you can see, they don't wear masks outside. And the weather has been wonderful. So it's been great to see the kids enjoying themselves outside with fresh air and building connections with each other as well. This just some pictures, lovely pictures of the children playing in our new playground. Well, it has been refurbished playground for ECF 5 all through grade 2. Similarly, children are playing with each other and enjoying each other's companies, building new friendships, building new connections. And it's been really, really wonderful to see them play and enjoy themselves. We wanted to share some pictures of lunch times. We share with some of the parents on Wednesday that lunchtime, it happens in the cafeteria for grades 3 and 4. Happens in a beautiful tent for grade 5s, and for the younger children's ECF 3, 4, all through grade 2 children eat with their pots in their classrooms. You can see on the left pictures that children have they're socially distancing from each other, and they're also sitting with their pods as well. So children, they have assigned sittings, and all children are sitting with each other with their pods. We are doing that in case there would be an instance of a COVID in school. We will be able to identify primary contacts for our children right away.
One of the exciting parts of being back to school is that the children get to put their hands on the books that we have. And as you know, an important part of who we are and our identity at ISP is that we love books and we love to read. And that goes for the children, from our youngest children to all of us as adults. These are just a couple of images of a read aloud where the teacher is reading a favorite book to the children. A one little boy deciding which book he wants to read. And then in the last picture, they have book boxes so they can peruse and choose which book they want to read when they have independent reading time. I have to say, this morning, part of what comes out of this love of books is confidence as readers and thinking about what it means to be a reader. And this morning, when I popped into one of the first grade classrooms, the teacher was listening to the children talk about what it means to be a reader and what do you do when you come to a word that you don't know. And one of the little girls, who absolutely loves Gerald and Piggy books by Mo Willems, was trying to explain that sometimes it's hard to read a very long word. And the teacher responded, do you mean like when the word goes from one page to the next, when Gerald and Piggy are talking? And the little girl nodded her head very seriously. And so then they went on to talk about, well, what do you do when you come to a long word? And how do you sound that out? And for me, when I was watching it, I kept thinking, you know, out of this love of reading and books come the skills to be successful readers. And that's just one example. And then in EC3-4, our youngest children, you can see them here. Their learning and their sense of belonging comes from eating together. It's a social time. They go and they sit down and they chat with their friends while they're having their snack, and they build things together. And while they're building, they talk as well. And they make friendships and they learn how to be friends and share. And all of that contributes both to their learning as social beings and to their sense of belonging at ISP. And at the end of the first week, you can see that they already have formed friendships and feel like this is their home away from home. And then another important part of who we are as a school is writing. And here you can see our youngest children learning to write in kindergarten, and older children writing letters. And this week, which is a little bit challenging for some of the children because their teachers were at home, quarantined, as you know, the teachers took advantage of this situation and they thought, how do we build community and relationships with our children when we're not there physically? And they collaborated closely with the sub-teachers who were on site, and they wrote letters to each other. They learned how to write letters. They learned why you write a letter and what can you say to someone when you write. And the teachers then wrote back to them. And I've heard from a couple of the teachers how they already feel like they're getting to know one another and are creating a sense of belonging, even when they're not yet together, although everyone should be back next week.
So we have some new learning spaces that we wanted to share with you. You can see on the left-hand side that was the elementary school theater. We have transformed that space for music classes, and that's all of our children use that space for music every day. And on the right-hand side, you can see the new Early Childhood Foundations Library. As we have placed, it looks beautiful, we think, and it's very welcoming. And we have placed in there all of the early childhood books. So children get to go to that space daily. Ms. Sandra and Ms. Tara are in that space, welcoming children, reading books to children, and children get to, not yet to take them home, that will happen very soon, but they surely get to enjoy those books there. We also wanted to share with you that such in the specialist class right now on the left-hand side, you can see how children are socially distanced in that space. In our specialist classes, from grade 1 to grade 5, our children they are mixed so children from different pods and cohorts are mixed together in the specialist classes. We have created and we have now seating charts and seating arrangements for children in those classes. So again, the same, what I explained to you in the what we're doing in the cafeteria. If a child if there is a case of COVID within a group of children in specialist classes, we are able to quickly identify the children that were in close proximity with that particular child. And so we're doing this, and that's why we have identified the slide as well-being, because it's a way in which we are keeping track of the interactions and the connections that the children are having with each other.
This is just a small window into what happens once your children enter the building at each morning. We know that it's a change for those of you who are coming back to ISP not to be able to come inside. We miss having you be indoors with us as a part of the community. But Ms. Zalba and I and all of the teachers are loving seeing you at drop off in the mornings and at pick up after school. I'm particularly happy to be able to greet many of you this morning now that I'm back on campus. In our parent meeting that we had on Wednesday, there were questions raised about the children going from pods into mixed groups for art, music, PE, some of the specialist classes. And we listened to you, we heard your concerns from the few parents who were speaking to this, and we've tried to make adjustments. And as Ms. Zalba just explained, all children now in the specialist classes have assigned seats. They're social distancing so that they're safe. This is the same thing that's being done in the middle and upper school, so it's a school-wide approach. And we feel like with the current situation in the Czech Republic, we're being very cautious in taking care of the well-being of your children, and at the same time supporting their learning in all of the different classes and subject areas. And we feel like meeting with their classroom teachers face-to-face and their specialist teachers is very important to the children's learning. And as you saw from the few pictures that we shared, for the children, it's just wonderful to be back at school. They're happy, they're learning in ways that are familiar, collaborating, sharing their ideas, asking questions. They're quite comfortable wearing their masks. I think all of us as adults have been worrying about how that might affect them, but they put their masks on and off appropriately. They get to play outside without their masks, and then they come in and they focus and work in their classrooms, and they're comfortable and happy to be there and feel the sense of belonging that we all treasure at ISP. Ms. Zalba, do you have anything else you want to say before we close for this week?
Wonderful weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
Have
Bye.
a lovely weekend. Bye.